Most people think working on a cruise ship is a dream job. Free travel, exotic ports every single morning, thousands of dollars saved, and a paycheck on top of it all. Social media makes it look effortless. Recruiters make it sound like an adventure you would be crazy to pass up. But here is a number nobody puts in the job listing. Most crew members do not even make it through their first contract. Not because they are weak, not because they were not warned, but because nobody, not the recruiter, not the brochure, not the glossy Instagram post, told them what was actually waiting for them on the other side of that gangway today. We are going inside the reality that gets left out. No exaggeration, no scare tactics, just the honest, unfiltered truth about what life actually looks and feels like when you live and work on a cruise ship for months at a time. And why knowing this before you sign anything could be the most important thing you hear, because the people who thrive at sea are not the ones who had no idea what they were walking into. They are the ones who knew exactly what was coming and chose it anyway. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you will never look at a cruise ship the same way again. And if this is the kind of behind-the-scenes cruise truth you have been looking for, you are exactly where you need to be. Cruise Navigator is where we pull back the curtain on everything the cruise industry does not put in the brochure. Hit subscribe and tap the bell right now so you never miss what we uncover next. Now, let us get into it. Let us start with the number that changes everything for every new crew member who had no idea what was actually waiting for them: 10 to 13 hours. That is how long most cruise ship crew members work every single day. Not 5 days a week, not 6, every single day for the entire length of their contract. And contracts are not short. Depending on your role, you could be signing on for anywhere from 4 months to 11 months straight without a single genuine day off. Maritime law does require a minimum of 10 hours of rest within every 24-hour period. But here is what gets left out. That rest does not have to be one unbroken block of sleep. It can be split. And on many ships, it is what that looks like in real life. You work a morning shift, get a few hours off in the early afternoon, then go straight back for the evening. Day after day, week after week, month after month. The physical exhaustion builds fast. But it is not the physical part that breaks people. What truly grinds people down is the psychological weight of never having a real weekend, never having a day where the job simply does not exist. The ship never stops. The passengers never stop needing things. And the moment you open your cabin door, the job is right there waiting for you again. Crew members who have done multiple contracts describe it almost exactly the same way every time. It feels like living inside a loop that has no exit. Asterisk now. Let us talk about the cabin, because nothing prepares first-time crew members for this moment. Asterisk passengers sleep in spacious staterooms, some with balconies, some with ocean views, some with bathtubs and room service menus on the nightstand. Crew members sleep in small interior cabins, deep inside the ship, below the waterline, with no window, no natural light, and no way to tell whether it is noon or midnight without checking your phone. Asterisk, most crew cabins are shared, typically between 2 people. The space is compact enough that if both of you are in the room at the same time, you are moving around each other carefully just to get dressed. Asterisk, and you do not get to choose your roommate. The ship assigns one to you. You might be paired with someone on the exact opposite shift, which means the moment you are finally exhausted enough to sleep, their alarm goes off, the light flips on, the door opens and closes, and you lie there in the dark, in a room the size of a large closet, reminding yourself that you signed up for this, asterisk, for months, for the better part of a year. Asterisk, that cabin is your entire private world, your only space that belongs to you, and it is smaller than most American college dorm rooms. Asterisk here is something that catches people completely off guard, something they almost never see coming, even more than the hours in the cabin. The loneliness. How can you be lonely on a ship with thousands of passengers and hundreds of crew members around you at all times? It is a fair question, and the answer reveals something important about what human beings actually need to feel connected. Asterisk. Crew members exist in a strange in-between world. They are not passengers. They cannot sit at the pool. They cannot watch the evening shows as audience members. Their interactions with passengers are structured, professional, and then over asterisk real friends friendships do form between crew members, deep ones, but those friendships carry something painful built into them from the very beginning. An expiration date asterisk every few months. Contracts end. The person you ate every meal with for the past 5 months, the one who made you laugh when the job felt impossible, they pack their bag and they go home, and a new group of strangers walks on board, and the cycle starts again from zero. Asterisk meanwhile, life back home keeps moving without you. Family dinners happen that you are not at. Friends get married at ceremonies you watch on a phone screen. Your parents get a little older. Your children hit milestones you only hear about after the fact. And you are somewhere in the middle of the ocean with a 20-minute internet window, trying to sound okay on a video call when you are not entirely sure that you are. Asterisk. Former crew members say it over and over again. This is the hardest part. Not the hours, not the cabin, the quiet, accumulating weight of missing your life while it happens without you. Now, let us talk about something crew members almost never say out loud while still under contract. The reality of working in service on a ship with no way out. On land. A difficult customer leaves. A hard shift ends and you drive home to a completely different environment. You decompress. You reset on a ship. There is no driving home. The passenger who was rude to you at dinner might be at the pool deck tomorrow morning, at the bar that evening, on the same shore excursion you are managing the next day. And every single time you smile, you engage, you provide warm professional service because that is the job. And because on a ship, there is simply nowhere else to go. This is called emotional labor, and sustained emotional labor in a confined space with no genuine escape accumulates. It does not disappear between shifts. It builds quietly over weeks and months until one day something very small happens and it hits harder than it should. Now let us talk about money, because this is where the gap between expectation and reality can be the widest of all. Cruise ship pay varies dramatically depending on your role, your department, and the cruise line you work for. Senior officers and technical specialists can earn genuinely competitive salaries, but a significant portion of the crew, particularly those in housekeeping and dining service, earn base salaries that are very modest by American standards. For many of these crew members, gratuities are not a bonus. They are a core part of what makes the income work. When passengers remove the automatic daily gratuity charge at guest services, and this happens more than most passengers ever realize, the financial impact lands directly on the people clean their cabin and serve their meals. There is a real upside though, and it deserves to be said clearly, because food and accommodation are provided. Crew members who manage their spending carefully can save a meaningful percentage of their earnings over a long contract. For many crew members, this financial opportunity is genuinely life-changing.
But the picture is rarely as simple as it sounds in a recruitment call. Recruiters are not the villains of this story. They are professionals filling a very large number of positions on ships that operate every single day of the year, and the opportunity they are selling is real. But attraction and preparation are two very different things. What gets emphasized? The adventure, the travel, the career growth, the savings potential, the experience of a lifetime. What gets significantly less airtime? The exact contract length, the daily schedule, the shared cabin reality, the emotional weight of months away from home, and what actually happens when you get sick at sea and the ship's medical center is your only option. The result, a meaningful number of new crew members step onto their first ship with a mental picture that does not match the one waiting for them. And the adjustment can be one of the hardest things they have ever done. Now here is the part you need to hear, because this video would not be honest if it stopped there. For everything this life costs, it gives something back that very few experiences on Earth can match. Standing on the deck of a ship as it sails into the Greek islands at sunrise, having your morning coffee in Alaska while a glacier drifts past the window, building real friendships with people from 30 different countries who you never would have met in any other version of your life, developing a resilience and a cultural fluency that most careers spent entirely on land simply cannot build in you. The crew members who complete contract after contract and build long careers at sea are not people who never felt the loneliness. They felt every bit of it. They stayed because what the sea gave them was worth what it cost them, and they went in knowing both sides of that equation. That knowing is everything. Here is your bonus tip before you go, and this is a question almost nobody thinks things to ask before signing a contract. Ask the recruiter specifically which ship you will be assigned to. Then research that ship independently. Look at the crew-to-passenger ratio. Find out the average contract length for your exact role, and find out whether crew members on that ship have access to dedicated rest spaces, a crew gym, outdoor areas, spaces that exist just for the people who live on board full-time. Newer, larger ships tend to invest significantly in crew facilities. Older ships may offer far less, and the quality of your off-duty space will have a direct impact on your mental health and your ability to finish your contract feeling like it was worth it. One question: before you sign anything, it can change everything. The cruise industry is one of the most extraordinary working environments on the planet. For the right person, going in with the right expectations, it can genuinely be the best decision of their life. But the right expectations only come from the truth, and now you have it. If this video showed you a side of the cruise world you had never seen before, Cruise Navigator has an entire library waiting for you. We go behind the scenes every single week. The things the brochures leave out, the realities the industry would rather you not think about, and the honest information that makes you a smarter traveler and a more informed human being. The video on your screen right now is the perfect next step. And if you have not subscribed yet, this is the moment. We will see you in the next.